Today's Monday, July 20th. Welcome to today. And that 540 that we had on E39 source, the M-Tech, Le Mans blue, black interior. It is an automatic, but it just beautiful, immaculate car is closing on Bring a Trailer here. We're at 15,605. And they've added 2 minutes a couple of times now because there's a bunch of bids. Okay, I'm officially a boomer. We are filming a screen with another screened device. So this thing's sold, 2003 540 M Sport, beautiful topaz. I may have said Le Mans mistakenly earlier. This is a topaz car on black, just incredible condition, low miles, timing chains and guides done. You don't get much better than this, other than it is an automatic, which hurts its value. And it doesn't have DSP, split fold sunshades, PDC. It's a very base car. I do think it has xenons, or at least I would hope it does. It does have xenons. Anyways, it's sold for a lovely total of $15,800. If it were a manual, I like to think it would have been a little closer to 20, especially if it had some more options on it, but pretty damn good. Now, the fun part is 4 hours after this car closes today, I get an email. Hey, Ryan, what's up? It's so-and-so up in LA. I just bought a 540 on Bring a Trailer this morning. I'm wondering if I can bring it down to you in a week or two and have you inspect it. Small freaking world, right? This thing's out in Troy, Michigan, and it's just sold to the guy in Los Angeles, and it looks like I may get to see this car, so that'll be awesome. In other news, it's been an E36 M3 day. We got the old radiator out. This guy is a Bear made in South Africa in 2003. It's upside down. Let's try this. There you go. 2003. So it got a lot of life out of it, probably a lot of miles. Now it's gone. It was not leaking, by the way. It still works, but there's just crust on the side, which probably means we're not far from a leak. So fresh radiators going in. Pulled off the pulleys today, or at least some of them. This guy here was really tight, the T55 bolt that held it in. So this one's in. It's not yet torqued to spec. See, it doesn't really spin as you flip it. This one, I've just broken it free. It was not loose and wonky like that, but that bearing will spin for 5 minutes if you give it a good whirl. So FCP, I ordered two, that one, and they only sent me one, so I just had to send them an email saying, what gives? I need one of those. So we got to wait for that. The alternator showed up. It doesn't have a pulley on it, and by pulley, I don't know if that's the right term. Pulley being the part, where is it? Where's the old alternator? Here it is. The part that the belt goes on. This part here. It doesn't have that. It just has a bolt sticking out of it. And it's like a reverse threaded triple square in there. So I don't even know how I would put a pulley on it. And Real OEM lists an explosion of the alternator, but only for the 80 amp version, which is this one. And this car has AC and heated seats, so it needs the 140 amp, but they don't offer an explosion, like a broken down explosion of the 140 amp. So I don't know where I'm going to get a pulley for that, and much less how I'm going to install it. There's the other problem with the FCP order. And lastly, they missed two parts in the order. I ordered a new fan clutch. It'll go here on the water pump, and then the bolts that hold the new fan, which showed up, it's in this box. The bolts that hold the fan to the fan clutch. I didn't get either one of those, and they're not even checked off on the invoice. You know, they draw a line through everything as they put it in the box, and they didn't draw lines through those. So I'm a little bit annoyed with that. That's just adds several days or weeks that this car is now going to take lift space unless I lower it and push it out of the way somewhere. I don't know why I'm such a slob. I unplug stuff and try to hold the hose up right. It falls out of my hand, and there goes a gallon of freaking coolant on the ground. So Jeff, if you're watching this, the M3's getting some love. We deleted the horrifically aftermarket front belly pan today. I don't know what Kenan did with it. I don't even see it. It was this little metal pan thing that looks like somebody made it from Home Depot materials. I really don't know what he did with it. Maybe he threw it out. Kenan, where's the pan that we took off the M3 today?
It's around the corner. Or no, sorry. Right there next to me.
Oh, there it is. So yeah, this guy probably made this at Home Depot, and then he just used normal hardware like 11 millimeter bolts, big washers, and then nuts on the other side to screw it in. So as you go on the bottom of the car with the gun and try to spin the bolts out, the nuts just rotate on the other side. So that sucked. We had to get really creative with going in from the back and putting a wrench on it to counter hold the nut, and then half of them sheared off. So that's not even close to being right. You'll love the hardware that was used to attach that to the chassis. which is completely aftermarket. This stuff, yeah, just like stock steel. So that's all the hardware and sheared off bullshit. So we ordered the correct belly pan. Kenan invested a little bit more money today in the M3.
Yeah.
A couple hundos. So it's getting new front fender liners because these are aftermarket. It's getting the belly pan. What else did we decide to do? This radiator hose that goes from the bottom of the expansion tank into the engine is going to get replaced. Fan shroud's good. New expansion tank. We're going to reuse the brass bleeder valve for the expansion tank. We got a new hose because this one, or a new cap, whatever the hell you call this, because this one's not very pretty anymore. And we already have a new one of these. You guys know what that is. So when are you going to sell it?
Month or so.
Yeah, you need to ask like 14.9 for it and then just roll the odometer back a shit ton.
So the E39 is going to get a pretty significant amount of work too soon. So while that is down for work, then I'll be driving this. Once that's over, then I think I'm going to let this car go.
That'll be sad though.
Yeah, but
I think you're going to keep it. I think you're going to miss driving it. You haven't driven it now since like the week you moved here.
That's true.
It's fun.
I do kind of miss, it is
we
fun,
got
though.
under it today, and they said it was crusty at LMS. It's not bad at all. Like, it needs rear subframe bushings. That's kind of the only really pressing thing. We had to do front links today.
Springs.
Yeah, the front springs are rusty, but so are mine. Unless it's sagging, I don't think they should be replaced. They're not that rusty. That's the upper cowl thing. This is the Dickard trim. Yeah, it's pretty nice under there, though. I mean, the body and chassis is all good. It's just the rear subframe is steel, so it's got some rust. Rear subframe mounts, as I mentioned. There's a cover over the fuel filter that's just gnarly. It's not available anymore. Then it could use some paint, some minor interior things. It's got glove box sag, and that door panel's hanging off. We got to fix that. It's just cosmetic, though. It drives real nice. Although the clutch picks up a millimeter off the floor, which I still don't like. And it needs a speaker grill. We ripped that off in Iowa.
Yeah, it was rattling like crazy.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, how'd they go?
Anyways, it is 7 o'clock on a Monday. Clocking out.
Getting out of here.
Oh man, it's back. Kenan, you're such a baseball fan, so this is huge for you.
The only baseball team I like is the Astros.
The Astros dicked it.
Yeah, well, they still get to keep the ring, so.
That's true.
They got caught, that's the thing.
They got caught, yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, I'm sure there are other teams there cheating.
Oh man, I don't even like baseball either, but it's good to see some sports.